The federal government isn't committing to the expert roadmap for a national pharmacare system. Health Minister Marjorie Michael says the government is still reviewing the recommendations and stressed the advice is non-binding. The expert committee's report released last Friday calls for a national list of essential medications and federal funding to make those drugs free with a health card. But she says healthcare is provincial and her job is to work with partners, not override them. If you start your day with coffee, you might be doing your heart a favor. Researchers suggest it might protect against atrial fibrillation, a common type of abnormal heartbeat. A small study from the journal JAMA found indulging in a daily morning brew helped lower the risk of recurrent AFib by nearly 40%. In addition to making you alert and physically active, caffeine can help block certain brain receptors that can steady your heartbeat. It may also help lower blood pressure. But hold on to the espresso shots and energy drinks for now. The study only looked at moderate coffee use, not caffeine overload, and not products with other ingredients. A highly anticipated trial to determine if oral version of semaglutide could slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease has failed. That's according to drug maker Novo Nordisk. Semaglutide is the active ingredient in popular drugs Ozempic and Wegovy. Smaller trials and animal studies had suggested GLP-1s might help slow cognitive decline or reduce neuroinflammation. However, larger trials like this one were needed to confirm whether patients saw actual benefits. A pair of trials were conducted on more than 3,800 adults receiving normal care for Alzheimer's. Novo Nordisk said the drug did lead to improvements in Alzheimer's-related biomarkers, but did not delay progression of the disease. There's new hope for Canadians living with one of the most aggressive forms of cancer. The treatment is not a cure, but it is offering patients something they rarely get: more time. CTV's Avis Favreau has the details.
On the stretcher is 67-year-old Elena Marcoux, about to be treated for an aggressive brain tumor in a very new way.
We confirmed that this is a glioblastoma.
She's one of about 1,000 Canadians diagnosed each year with glioblastoma, a cancer with a very high death rate. It ended the life of musician Gord Downie. The key problem: chemotherapy can't get past the blood-brain barrier to stop the tumor cells. So as part of her treatment, doctors give Elena an infusion of tiny microbubbles. And as she lays in an MRI, they send ultrasound waves into her brain to cause those bubbles to vibrate. The result: the bubbles are able to briefly pry open the brain's protective barrier, allowing the anti-cancer drug to reach the tumor.
As I went through, it got easier.
A new study of 34 patients, almost half of them in Canada, found this treatment given once a month for just 6 months extended overall survival from 19 to 30 months, a 40% increase. All the more intriguing because a few patients have survived longer.
There are still patients who were on this trial that are still alive right now, and that's 4 to 5 years in.
While not a cure, Dr. Lipsman is hopeful.
This is a disease that is in urgent need of treatment. I think the safety data was pretty compelling. I think the efficacy data was pretty compelling. And I'd love to see this as quickly as possible move through the regulatory process.
The treatment is clearly promising, but it needs big hospital-based equipment like this MRI, meaning it will be hard to get out to patients across the country. And that's why Canadian scientists here are developing the next generation of portable focused ultrasound. And this is what the next Canadian-designed prototype looks like: wires that deliver the ultrasound outside of an MRI, with patient studies to begin next year.
We can do it faster, we can do it more streamlined, doesn't require an overnight stay, but all of those steps will mean a much reduced cost footprint.
Elena, meanwhile, has one more treatment to go.
I have 2 grandkids. One is 10 months old, and I can be around them.
After which she hopes her brain tumor remains stable as she helps science with the next stage of this research. Avis Favreau, CTV News, Toronto.